This is my wife, Theresa. Something wrong?
Brad, my name isn't Theresa.
I said no more questions. You hear me? You won't get anything from me. Whatever you try, you won't get anything. Do you know why? Because you can't crack me. You understand? You can't crack me! What do you think I am? A foreigner? I'm an Englishman. An English gentleman.
No, you're not.
I have to know who she is. Who is Theresa?
So do we.
Too much curiosity. Curious people have to be eliminated. Because I do know her. Of course I do.
What?
She's my wife.
What?
Theresa is my wife. Charles Merrow. I'm Charles Merrow. I went
Oh,
to
no, he's
Ferngate
not.
College. The headmaster's name is Leslie Cromer.
So he is possessed.
Brad,
Yes, sweetheart.
cigars.
I ran out.
Brad, you don't smoke. You never have.
How do you want this job done, rough or smooth?
What's the difference?
Smooth if you want me to take him back after you finish with him.
Smooth then. But you won't be taking Mr. Hunter back.
It's right over there.
Bye. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the video. My name's Serenity Soul on the Axe, and today we are in with episode 4 of Thriller. I don't know what the title's called. I just let it autoplay, so I'll soon find out. So if you're enjoying these videos, if you haven't seen these videos, I urge you to watch them. They are good. They might be 70s, but if you like the Twilight Zone, Outer Limits, I've never seen them. I can react to them, but they may have to be a Patreon exclusive. I do advise you to watch them. I mean, some are better than others, as always with anthologies, but give them a try. You might like them. So with that, I thank each and every one of you for giving me a try and giving me a chance. And if you're on YouTube and you do watch this video and you enjoy it, give me a thumbs up, and I will take the thumbs up, all the thumbs up, and I will have a look at them when the series is due to come back, when any series is due to come back. Whichever one's got the most thumbs up will come by first. So if it's not this video, another video you enjoy, thumb it up and I'll try to get them back to you as soon as possible. I think this is 10 episodes, and after that it will go off for a while and be replaced with something else, and then it'll come back at some point. So to my Patreon members, I thank each and every one of you for watching. It is you that is bringing the content to me to allow me to bring the content back to you. Thank you all so much, I gratefully appreciate it, and I love you all, thank you. I hope the sub's worthwhile, and I hope you're enjoying this show and whatever tier you are. If you're in the tiers for the exclusives, I hope you're enjoying them too. So with that, let's get on to the video. So here we are with Guess the Twist with Serenity Soul on the Axe. If it's anything like the last episode, I guess like 6 different things. Well, it weren't different, I just extended them. And I still got it wrong. Well, kind of. No subtitles on this, I'm afraid.
Sweetheart, come here. You have to see this. Look, London. Big Ben, the Houses of Parliament. Down there, traffic on the left. Looks different by day, doesn't it?
Oh, different, and yet exactly how I imagined it. It's going to be a wonderful vacation. I just know it is.
I keep telling you not to say vacation. Honeymoon. Our second honeymoon. Now go on and get dressed, because I want to get out there in that city.
Still wearing the gown because it's pretty freezing. It's a week before Christmas is recording this. Their painting by Latour to be auctioned, did I say? Is that what I'm looking at? Is it a cursed painting? This is not Friday the 13th for series.
Yes?
Trasker. Martin Trasker.
Oh, yes, Mr. Trasker. Come in, please.
You got my cable.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I was going to call you later this afternoon.
I'm what you Americans call an eager beaver, Mr. Hunter. Your company has a manufacturing interest that my company wants to acquire. And I mean to get it. I warn you. I'll pull every dirty trick in the book to get it. But meanwhile, welcome to England.
Thank you.
These are for Mrs. Hunter. I always say if you get to the woman, you get to the man.
Thank you. That's very nice. Excuse me, please.
Sweetheart, make sure you're decent. We have company.
Coffee, Tresca?
Oh, I don't want to intrude so early.
It's okay. We can talk business meanwhile.
Right away.
Well, you said you were an eager beaver. So am I. Besides, this is my first trip to London. I want to get you off my neck as soon as I can so I can start enjoying my vacation.
It's a deal.
Oh,
So
sweetheart.
does
This
he
is
want to
Martin
sell?
Traska. Remember I told you about him?
Oh, yes. Hello. Very nice
How
to
do you
meet
do?
you.
This is my wife, Theresa. Something wrong?
Brad, my name isn't Theresa.
Oh dear, someone's in the doghouse. You could tell as soon as he said it, you could tell. An echo of Theresa. So he mentioned Theresa, dead wife?
Oh, I've heard of Freudian slips, but that one, in front of a complete stranger to come up with someone else's name.
I said I'm
I
sorry.
can't imagine what he must think.
I said I was sorry.
Sorry. How could you make a mistake like that anyway? And who is Theresa?
I told you I don't know.
Oh, come on, Brad.
I don't know anyone named Theresa. I promise you. Must have been a name I read somewhere. In the papers, maybe. I don't... In the paper. Of course, that's it. I just read it in the morning paper.
Do you swear that's true?
Yes, I swear, it is true. And I'm very sorry. And look, you finish getting dressed, because I have to get back out there to Mr. Traska.
I need stuff, but I don't call my partner a different name.
Women.
Well, that was certainly quite a mistake to make.
Yes,
Quite.
it was. Well, Mr. Traska, let's hear your thoughts, shall we?
Well, we're both in the same line of business, manufacturing machine tools. We even buy and sell from each other. And that doesn't make sense.
I'd be having the same thoughts as you, love.
So in other words, you want to manufacture under license?
Yes.
Well, why don't I just open a plant here in Europe? Why should I cut you fellas
If
in?
that's the answer, why haven't you done it before? Come on, Mr. Hunter, level with me. It's an attractive idea, isn't it? But before we go ahead, we have to know more about this gear cutting device. Does it really cut down work as much as they say? And what are its limitations? Can it cut any kind of steel? And what about the soft metals?
No more questions.
Well, these are things I've got to know. What kind of setup do you have? How many can you turn out and in what time? And what are your manufacturing costs?
I said no more questions. You hear me? You won't get anything from me. Whatever you try, you won't get anything. Do you know why? Because you can't crack me. You understand? You can't crack me!
Is there another case of possession? That was in the second episode. I'm not going to spoil the last episode in case you haven't seen it, but it was a small part of that. It's a love art. Did he kill this Theresa?
Susie,
What is it? What's the matter with you?
I don't know. I'm tired. A time change. A trip from New York. That's it. That must be it.
Where to?
Anywhere you say. We're strangers. It doesn't matter.
Tower of London?
No. No. Take me to... Go along Oxford Street. About halfway. Make a turn. There's a square.
Grosvenor Square, sir. Where the American Embassy is?
No. The other side of Oxford Street. Traveling west, you turn right. There's a small square.
It could be Manchester Square.
Yes, that's it. Manchester Square. Take me to Manchester Square.
Was it just me, or did he lose his American accent there? This has jumped straight into the story, hasn't it? Bloody hell. Oh, Americans don't have much luck in this show. Americans, I advise you never to come to spooky old England. No, come. I might be old, but I wasn't born when these shows were out. So these are all brand new to me.
Well, here we are. What part of the square do you want?
The west side.
That's where we are.
Well, where is it?
Where's what?
The big red brick apartment block.
Thought you said you were strangers.
We are.
Funny then. There used to be a block there. Red brick, just like you said. Stood just there.
It's been possessed already. Even in the second episode, it took quite a while.
I'd rather know the truth, Brad. It was in '67, wasn't it? Just before I had Tommy. You did that whistle-stop business tour of the East Coast, only you didn't stop there, did you? You went on to Europe and met this girl, Theresa, what's her name, and... I'd rather know.
There never was any Theresa. And I've never been to Europe before.
How did you know about the apartment block? It wasn't there then.
I don't know. Susie, I wish I knew the answer.
I'd be getting to the doctors.
Look, I meet hundreds of people who come to London every day. Maybe one of them mentioned it. For some reason, it just stuck in my mind.
Why would they mention a red apartment block?
Stuck in my mind.
You really think that's true?
That's the only possible explanation.
Oh, Brad. The fond second honeymoon.
Yeah. Well, there will be. I promise you. Look, I have to go down and make my apologies to Traska, but when I'm through, I'm going to order us 2 tickets for a show.
Make it a very English show.
The accents will be so English, you won't be able to understand a word. And then, dinner under the stars.
Geordie?
The weather forecast is rain.
So, dinner under the rain. It can't be more English than that. I'll be right back.
Oh, darling, drop a PS to Tommy and Julie, will you? They'll expect it.
Oh, yes.
Would you give my apologies to Mr. Trasker, too, please?
Well, you don't have anything to apologize for, but I certainly do.
I was going to say, she's forgiven him far too easily.
I really have no explanation at all. Except, I guess I needed this vacation a lot more than I realized. All I can say to you, Mr. Trasker, is that I'm sorry.
Think nothing more of it. Perhaps you did me a favor, because now you're under an obligation.
Yes, I guess I am. Waiter. Scotch on the rocks, please. Trasker?
Same for me.
You know, Mr. Trasker, you're pretty cool.
I'm a good company man, Mr. Hunter. I'd go through fire and water and insults if that's the way to clinch a deal with you.
Come in. Oh, would you mind mailing these for me, please?
Certainly, madam.
Oh.
You see, the advantages of
That
granting
kid
us a
was
license
far
to
beyond-
manufacture are manifold.
beyond.
This is
Below
the
working
perspective I've
age.
drawn up. Now, you don't have to carry any expenses in Europe at all, but at the same time,
Was you allowed to
you
hire
draw a
kids then?
percentage on everything we make and sell. I'm not going to push. Well, not too hard, anyway. Take them, study them. Any comments you may have, jot them down, and we can thrash them out later.
I asked you for a scotch.
That's right, sir. It is Scotch.
With ice?
On the rocks, yes, sir.
Take it away.
Why?
I said take it away.
Mr. Hunter, I distinctly heard you ask for
A gentleman never corrupts good Scotch whiskey with ice, does he?
But, sir, you...
What do you think I am, a foreigner? I'm an Englishman. An English gentleman.
No, you're not. I thought he was being possessed by Theresa. I'm lost. I'm lost. Help. Help. This is going to be a Murder, She Wrote thing where the cogs are turning like mad in my head. That's for Patreon members, by the way. Can't get it on any other platform. Your wife's gonna be coming in to give you I nearly swore, a telling off again. Let me know how this swearing works on YouTube. Am I gonna get demonetized? Well, I don't think I can claim this video. I think this video is claimed. But
Where have you been?
Been?
Do you know what time it is?
I'm gonna get age restricted.
Late, I guess.
You've been gone nearly 8 hours without a word. I was worried sick about you.
I was walking.
Where?
Just walking.
Who are you going to phone?
Theresa?
You were getting ready to make a call. To whom? To Theresa?
I don't know any Theresa.
Postcard.
I'm tired. I'm very tired.
I'm sorry, darling. I know I promised I wouldn't mention it again. It's just that you need help.
Help?
Darling, you're not well. Look, maybe you're under stress or overworked or... Why don't we just pack up all our things and go home?
I would.
Trasker called today. He told me what happened in the lounge. He said to call him when you're feeling better.
Did he tell you he was an Englishman? Not a foreigner?
Darling. Please.
I will. I will. Susie, you were right. Overwork, too much stress. It has to be that. Will you forgive me?
There's nothing to forgive, is there?
I love you, Susie.
Come to bed.
Even when you lash out with too much stress, though, you lash out at something that's happened. Not something that you say's happened but hasn't happened.
Something I haven't told you. I wasn't going to, but I can't seem to keep to myself any longer. I saw what you wrote on the card. To the children, Brad. To our children, that's what makes it so awful. That's why I have to tell you. Do you know what you wrote? To Tommy and Julie.
She's asleep.
You wrote her name. Theresa. That's why I can't let it alone. That's why the name keeps going round and round in my head. And I have to know who she is. Who is Theresa?
So do we.
Too much curiosity. Curious people have to be
Brad!
Oh, sweetheart.
Dump him. Dump him and run.
Theresa.
No!
Theresa.
No!
This is very reminiscent of the second episode.
I want you to relax, Mr. Hunter. Think of my voice as a breeze. A cool, cleansing breeze blowing through your mind, taking away all the cobwebs.
Yeah, and instead
all
of
the
the
dark shadows.
medium,
And there will be nothing that you wish to hide, Mr. Hunter.
got this. Hypnotist.
Nor will there be any hidden aggressions towards your wife. Towards anyone. Tell me about Theresa.
Theresa.
Who is she? A figment of your imagination? Or does she really exist?
Yes. Exists. Theresa.
Someone you once heard of, through a friend, perhaps? Or someone you know and have met?
I don't know.
Please don't fight my questions, Mr. Hunter.
I don't know!
Oh, he's not
I
hypnotized.
don't know.
Then let us assume that you do know her.
Hypnotized.
Where did you first meet her?
Can talk.
In Vienna. We met in Vienna. In Vienna.
And when was this? When were you last in Vienna?
Never was in Vienna.
But you met Theresa there.
Yes. We met in Vienna. In Vienna.
Then when were you there?
I told you I was never in Vienna.
What?
Europe, then.
This is my first trip to Europe.
So is he getting both people?
You have been abroad before, away from the United States?
Yes.
Ah. When?
A long time ago.
Where, then?
Korea.
He was in the army in Korea.
Is that where you met Theresa? In Korea?
I never met Theresa.
Is Theresa someone he's
But
shot?
you do know her.
Yes.
And he feels really guilty.
No.
Which is it, Mr. Hunter?
I don't know!
Oh, come on now. You're holding back on me. You do know Theresa.
No!
I insist that you do.
No!
He's kind of pushed it
Then why this?
into his subconscious. But it's letting itself out
Mr.
like
Hunter, look
this.
at it. It says here quite clearly, does it not? I love Theresa. Doesn't it? Does it not say that?
And he can't shot her.
Yes.
And you wrote this?
Yes.
Then why? Why write this about a woman you do not know?
Because I do know her. Of course I do.
What?
She's my wife.
What?
Theresa is my wife.
I'm guessing that's from the other guy. The one who has possessed him.
Sedative I gave him will ensure a good night's sleep tonight, and this should keep him for the week.
You still haven't given me an opinion.
That's because I feel you've had enough tonight.
Please, Doctor.
Very well. Your husband is undeniably mentally disturbed. Not certifiable. Not yet, anyway.
He tried to strangle her.
Unless you requested. You said he attacked you.
Yes.
I can see the marks on your throat.
He didn't know what he was doing.
The mentally unstable never do.
That's your diagnosis of Brad? Mentally unstable.
I'm afraid so. You noticed he seemed reluctant to speak about his war experiences. I wonder, could there be a connection?
How? That was nearly 20 years ago. And it was in Korea, not Europe. How could there be a connection?
Yes, as you say. Mrs. Hunter, there's nothing you have not told me. A domestic crisis? Another woman?
No, Brad and I have always been very happy.
Well, I can only drug him into a state of calm for so long. Your first instincts were quite right. Get him to go home, be with the family, familiar surroundings. And then get him to cut down on work.
No, leave him in
Why
England.
can't I make him go?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Let me give it some thought, eh? At least he'll get some rest tonight. Good night, Mrs. Hunter.
See, it did pass through my mind I forgot what it's called. You know, where people leave the war, but they've got so much guilt and that.
Theresa.
Like a post-war syndrome kind of thing. I forgot what it's called. My head's going to be fluttering around trying to think of the word.
Well, good morning. About time, lazy bones. Hey, I don't know what that doctor gave me, but whatever it was, it sure did the trick. I feel 100% better.
100%?
200% then. Hey, you'd better wear something very plain and not too sexy today. But I won't let you out of the suite. Hold it. Ah, thank you, madam. That was lovely.
See, it's more strange when he's acting normal. Since he spent most of the episode not being normal.
Morning, sir. Lovely day.
Morning. Yes, it is. Lovely day.
Your paper, sir.
Oh, thank you. Mr. Trasker? Oh, good morning. Brad Hunter.
He's going to cut another heart in it.
Yes, much better, thank you.
I did.
That's why I'm calling, to apologize for yesterday. Yes. Well, I'm afraid I was very much under the weather.
Mr. Hunter. Mr. Hunter.
Can we see? She packed her bags.
Brad, I thought maybe the two of us could...
No.
Brad.
I would be getting him sectioned. See, it'd be going through my head that he's gone to meet Theresa.
American Embassy, please.
There you are, sir. Some Puglia Towers.
Wait for me.
First glance, I thought we were putting money in there. But it's a piece of the paper. It's leaving clues about.
But, Jerry, you're the only one I know here to call, and I really need help.
Now, hold on. You had a doctor, you said?
Yes, but he can't help Brad or me, and we need help.
Okay, there is someone that might be of use. Don't be put out by appearances. He's a darn good man. His name is Earp.
Earp?
Oh.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. Why, and all that. But this guy is Matthew Earp, and a darn good man. I'll have him drop by to see you.
I thought you said his name is Earp. Didn't realise I said Earp. It seems like they're using more locations as the series goes on. Well, that'd be sets.
Yes?
Theresa.
No?
I want to speak to Theresa.
Oh.
We met in Vienna.
You must be mistaken. There is no one of that name here.
Merrow. Charles Merrow.
You have the wrong address. I'm sorry.
I want to know how the hell he can tear out these perfectly shaped hearts. Is it that easy? I've never tried.
Mrs. Hunter?
Yes.
Earp?
Matthew Earp. Yes, I'm not quite what you expected, am I? May I come in?
Why? I expected a strange-looking fellow. He just looks normal.
Mr. Earp, do you know why you're here?
Primarily because Colonel Jerry Pilston recommended me. He and I once worked together before he joined the embassy here. It was quite dangerous work. Does that give you more to lean on?
Is he a parapsychologist?
I'm sorry.
It's probably the name, Earp. It conjures up one thing, then you get me, the other thing.
Mr. Earp, I'm sure you're very good at your job.
No,
It's
Mrs.
just
Hunter,
that-
I'm not very good. I'm magnificent. The best.
Ego much?
But I came here to talk about your husband. Brad, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, I take it he's in trouble.
Just a bit.
Bannerheim. He is still not returned. You will ask him to call me the moment he gets back. Yes, very urgent.
Is he going to kill him? See, I thought it was just going to be in it for the
Brad,
she's
darling,
not
we've been
here
waiting for you.
kind of
Waiting for me?
scene.
This is Mr. Earp. He's here to help us.
No more doctor, Susie.
No, I'm not a doctor, Mr. Hunter. I'm a private detective.
Oh.
Detective. Earp?
You see, I told you. It's always the same. I ought to change the name, I suppose, but it is a fine old one.
He's a friend of Jerry's.
Jerry. Jerry Pilston? Did you bring him into this?
I'm telling I had to
Oh,
talk
that's
to
great.
someone.
That's just great.
I'm
What did
sure
you tell
your
him?
wife just acted out of love and concern for you, Mr. Hunter.
I'm sure she did. Thank you, Mr. Earp.
I hope you'll be able to thank me for more. Now, your wife has been telling me the whole story. It's interesting.
Interesting. Well, I've heard that you Englishmen had a gift for understatement. But interesting? You don't think this is the ramblings of a demented mind?
Do you?
No.
Well, then let's start with three assumptions, shall we? That you are quite sane, that I know my job, and together we might come up with a logical answer.
I was going to say, he's a detective, not a shrink.
Would you like a drink, Mr. Earp?
Thank you. Bourbon.
Bourbon?
I've spent an awfully long time with the Americans, and my palate has been educated, or corrupted, according to your viewpoint.
Well, an Englishman who appreciates bourbon, that's something.
Thank you. Before I drink your liquor, Mr. Hunter, I must point out that all three of my assumptions could be wrong.
That's fair enough.
You do understand my meaning. You might be as nutty as a fruitcake.
Oh, you must be related to old Wyatt.
Well, if I am, I keep quiet about it. There's a terrible bungler, you know, Wyatt Earp. That fiasco, the OK Corral, all that shooting face to face, when a good scattergun from ambush would have done the job much more efficiently.
I think we're going to say from Amazon.
Never give a sucker an even break?
Only of his left forearm. Your health.
Cheers.
Excuse me.
Oh. So, where have you been? Well, you left here in a hurry. To go where?
I went to an apartment block. St. Pelia Towers, apartment 42.
At least he
To
knows
look
what
for
he's
Theresa.
doing.
Yes.
Well, she wasn't there, I hope.
What?
Well, if she were there, then the case would be closed. And I should be unable to charge you my excessive fee, and I warn you, it will be excessive. Now, why St. Pelia Towers?
I'm not really sure. But this morning, just before breakfast, I glanced at the newspaper, and suddenly it flashed in my head. You see, I think the newspaper might have something to do with it.
What newspaper?
The London Times.
And it isn't here now.
No, it isn't.
And you think that you saw that address in the paper, is that it?
I don't know.
What does Theresa look like?
I don't know. I've never seen her.
You seem very sure of that.
Sure? I'm not sure of anything. Except there isn't any Theresa. There can't be. Theresa, Merrow.
Merrow?
Charles Merrow.
Did you say Merrow?
He knows him.
Yes. Just now when I went to the apartment block, I asked for Charles Merrow. But that's crazy. Why won't I go there and ask for me?
Oh, right.
Charles Merrow. I'm Charles Merrow. I went
Oh,
to
no, he's
Ferngate
not.
College. The headmaster's name is Leslie Cromer.
So he is possessed.
You were right. We should have packed and gone home. But I can't run out. I have to stay here and find out what this is all about. If I'm sane or not.
Herb will come up with something.
Confirmation that I should be put away.
Darling, there's got to be an answer to all this.
I tried to kill you, didn't I? I love you, Susie, and yet I tried to kill you. Waiter, bring me some cigars, will you?
Yes, sir.
The best you have.
Right away, sir.
Brad,
Yes, sweetheart.
cigars.
I ran out.
Brad, you don't smoke. You never have.
Let's get out of here, Susie. Get some air. And take a walk.
See, it never seems to be Brad anymore. Always seems to be Charles. I think he said his name was Charles. He's got a gun. Don't need a gun when you got a car.
Well, I heard what happened. How is he?
Oh, cuts, abrasions, badly bruised. Nothing serious, thank God, but he could have been killed.
But
I understand they haven't found the driver yet.
No.
But you were there.
It was that guy.
And you saw the driver.
Who the other guy phoned up.
I don't know. I don't think so. It happened so quickly.
And conveniently.
Are you suggesting it could have been deliberate?
Mrs. Hunter, I exist on suspicions. Most of them unfounded.
Why would anyone want to run us down?
May I see your husband? I have some news for him.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sorry. Darling, it's Mr. Erb.
Well, howdy, partner.
Good evening, Mr. Hunter. Well, I'm sorry to hear you fell foul of our London traffic.
Well, lousy drivers are the same all over, I guess.
Your reflexes must have been awfully good.
Yes, you know, I've been lying here thinking the same thing. That car was coming straight at us.
Will that
Darling,
Charles
Mr.
know
Erb
who
thinks
it
it just
is?
might
It might have been much worse, Mr. Hunter. Meanwhile, I have some information.
Oh?
I did some checking up on apartment 42, St. Palia Towers. No Theresa or Charles Merrow, I'm afraid. The apartment is owned by J. Bannerheim, and he's been in residence there for nearly 20 years. Yes, but one interesting fact. Mr. Bannerheim is an Austrian national. He was born in Vienna.
Vienna? That's where you were supposed to have met Theresa.
I mean, it's a tiny point. He doesn't lead anywhere yet.
But do you think it will?
Oh, Mr. Hunter, you must have tossed a pebble in a pool at some time, watched the tiny ripples spread. Did you know that it's those tiny, tiny ripples that eventually erode the whole bank? Well, I've made some more fruitful inquiries. The Ferngate College.
You've located such a place?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, in the county of Hampshire.
And?
Well, unfortunately, it was burned to the ground some 20 years ago. Most of the records with it. Therefore, there is no way of knowing if Charles Merrow was educated there.
I was going to say,
But,
is there no records online?
well, fasten your seatbelts.
It's the 70s.
The headmaster's name was Leslie Cromer.
You're a fool, Bannerheim. Both of you, fools.
I tried to reach you. All day I tried. But you were out riding. Always riding.
It's the major pastime of an English gentleman, didn't you know?
Well, I had to act on my own initiative. I sent Sager here to follow, find out who he was, where he was staying.
And then attempt to run him down in the most clumsy fashion. Well, this time your oaf-like inefficiency has proved fortunate for all of us. What do we know about this man?
His name is Bradley Hunter, an American citizen.
That's all.
Yes.
I suppose you have checked to see if he's known to us?
I'll attend to it at once, Sager.
Of course, it didn't occur to you to ask why he came to this apartment.
Really hope that
why
cat
he asked
survives
Theresa,
this.
or what else he might know. You're worse than a fool, Bannerheim. You're dangerous.
Please,
After the last
when I
episode.
saw this, I didn't know what to do.
Why send him away? Why not ask him in, find out what he wanted?
I panicked. Yes, I confess it. I panicked. I'm rusty. Well, we all are. Well, you very well know we haven't had an assignment in years. Nobody has asked for Theresa in years. Nobody since you, in fact. Almost 20 years.
Yes, I was the last. There will be no more incidents, though. This must be handled with kid gloves. So, curb Sagar's homicidal tendencies for the moment. At least till we know more about Hunter. Get me a drink.
This scene is not making me any more the wiser. Just filling me with more questions.
We may eventually get some action, though, Vanaheim. Like the old days, eh?
I was young in the old days. I don't want them anymore.
All these years, and you still forget. No ice. Never corrupt. Good Scotch with ice betrays your breeding.
It's not possessed, he's picking up on him.
Mr. E, that's everything I can remember. Every crackpot remark I've made since I arrived here. And now I think I'm going to go out.
Out?
Yes, honey, take a walk.
Do you think you should?
Yeah.
Mr. Hunter, you saw service in Korea.
Some?
Night patrols, that kind of thing.
Enough to make me feel like an owl. Why?
I'm lost.
Well, it's just that a man who's had that experience never forgets. He's always noticing things. If he were being stalked, for instance, even in a big city, he'd sense it. He'd know.
Well, if I'm being followed, I'll call Theresa.
You can't.
That's very familiar. If I'm being followed or in trouble of any kind, call Theresa.
Call her where?
I don't know. Just call her. Well, maybe the walk will clear my head. Maybe I'll come up with something.
You can't be possessed by someone alive.
We have just received an answer. There is nothing known on Bradley Hunter.
And? Well, they didn't leave it there, did they?
They are deeply interested, of course. We are to keep them informed.
They're sending someone over?
No, we are to handle it ourselves.
I see.
If you were to speak to them, you could persuade them to send someone. This game is not for us anymore. It's been too long. We are all of us out of practice.
Some of us, Vanaheim, not all of us. We'll have to bring Hunter in.
Bring him in.
And talk to him, my dear chap. Ask him a few pertinent questions. And perhaps a few impertinent ones, too. Sometime tomorrow, I'd say. Doubt we'll be ready for him before then. I suppose you can handle it. Call me when you've made the arrangements.
So when he loses consciousness, like goes to sleep...
How do you want this job done, rough or smooth?
What's the difference?
Smooth if you want me to take him back after you finish with it.
Smooth, then. But you won't be taking Mr. Hunter back.
Does his consciousness transfer into the American? Into Brad? I'm not picking my nose.
Excuse me.
What is it?
I thought so. I hoped so. I was halfway down the street when it hit me.
What?
Theresa. Call Theresa. Forgive me, I better explain.
Please do.
The phone. You see, it's only recently that the London Exchange has gone over to all figure numbers. Before that, you dialed letters and figures. If you wanted Grosvenor, for instance, you dialed GRO, then the number. Waterloo was WAT. It's very, very recent. You see, even this hotel hasn't got around to changing its phones yet. Do you see?
Is that why we have the
Well,
ABC
spell
on phones?
Theresa for me. Well, come along, spell it.
Theresa.
7 letters. And the London call has 7 digits.
Well done.
Call Theresa.
No wonder it's expensive. It's good. I always wondered why we had ABC and stuff like that on the ringers when I was a kid.
Hello?
Oh, hello. I'd like to speak to Theresa, please.
I beg your pardon.
I'd like to speak to Theresa, please.
I'm sorry, sir, but Mrs. Marrow is not here at the moment.
Oh, right number.
Meadow. Did you say Mrs. Meadow?
Yes, sir. Who is this, please?
Charles. Is Charles there, please?
I'm sorry, but Mr. Marrow is not here either. Who shall I say call?
He's very clever. You're going for a ride, mate. Cameraman, don't take in the views. Follow him. Bloody cameramen in the 70s.
Well, I got nowhere. I walked, I thought, I came up with nothing.
Where did you get that?
I don't know.
Is it that piece of art that was in the paper? No. Wellies.
Do ride, Mr. Hunter.
Yes, but not in clothes like these.
Paid for with your credit card. Plumwoods. Who recommended that you go there?
Go where?
Plumwoods. It's the most exclusive sporting tailors in the city. You made a long trek indeed to buy a set of clothes you'd never wear.
I must be losing my mind.
No, I doubt that, Mr. Hunter. We found Theresa.
I really hope this ends with a good answer because I've got no idea what's going off now. It's not possession.
No. I've never seen it before.
Well, you're looking at the home of Charles and Theresa Meadow. Apparently, she's a tall, elegant woman with fine features. Has a habit of exercising her dog at about this time of day. So would you go out now and stand over there?
What?
And then she can't avoid seeing you. Oh, don't forget the camera.
It's supposed to be posing as an American tourist?
It's a kind of joke. I'll tell you when to laugh.
Now, with all this money, why has he not got a car? He's a private detective. Why is he taking taxis?
Theresa!
Yeah, that's him. Were they twins?
The woman meant nothing to me. But the man on the door, I've seen him before.
Where?
In the mirror?
I don't know. But I recognized him right away.
Recognized him?
That man is Charles Merrow. That man is me.
But he's not.
Take us back to the hotel, driver.
He's not. Help, audience, help. All you lovely people, help me. I don't know what's happening.
Ah, Singer.
I thought you were going to do something to the
Take him
cat.
down to the car. We will leave him at the pet shop. They will look after him. Oh, I almost forgot. His favorite food. He would pine without it. Wouldn't you, Sigmund? Oh, Sigmund. You will come to learn. Put your trust only in animals. Only dumb animals. They will never betray you. All right, I'll be down there.
Don't call them dumb if they're being loyal.
I'm too old for this. Too old.
So they're going to be using some Gestapo techniques. I'm just looking at the time. Make sure we're going.
Is Mr. Masgard in?
Mascot.
Oh, I'm sorry. They must have given me the wrong room number. It's most unlike them. Please excuse me.
That's all
I
right.
wonder, to save me going all the way down, would it be possible for me to telephone reception from here?
Oh, of course. Come on in.
Thank you.
It's right over there.
Bye. Where the hell did he inject her? Oh, the arm. I'd be asking what it was. How are they going to get out of the hotel?
This drug will not put you out, Mrs. Hunter. It will just numb you, make you more acquiescent.
I think I'd rather be unconscious.
Now, Mrs. Hunter, you and I are just going to walk out of here, just the two of us.
But look, you still haven't...
Is it kind of like a controlling drug?
Why can't I go straight to Merrow and ask him what this is all about?
Because you were nearly killed, Mr. Hunter.
I was involved in an accident.
Perhaps, perhaps not, Mr. Hunter. The fact that we now know where Charles and Theresa Merrow are is our only ace. Now, don't discard it too easily. You don't play bridge?
No.
Poker, then?
Some? Why?
And let's keep our ace in the hole for the moment. Now, you understand that?
I can't play poker.
Good. Right. I'll see if I can find out some more.
Far too many rules.
From our Austrian gentleman, J. Bannerheim. And I suggest you, Mr. Hunter, get a very, very good night's sleep.
Susie.
So have they took her to ransom her for information? That sounds a bit like Fizz in a Tune, not the main theme.
A sign. A sign.
It's been doing hearts now,
Signal.
diamonds.
That's what triggered me. Susie! Susie! Susie. Your wife is in good hands, Mr. Hunter, and will remain so as long as you cooperate. Who are you? Nice and quietly, Mr. Hunter, please. Where is my wife? What?
That line wasn't
You know the
delivered
situation,
well.
Mr. Hunter. I want to see my wife. I'll take you to her immediately. We'll go down by the back stairs.
The water bill. Could have turned the sound off now. How long was he waiting in there?
They've gone away.
Where to?
Just away. Must have been an emergency.
An emergency?
Well, he took his bag. Mr. Benidorm took his doctor's bag.
I didn't know Mr. Bannerheim was a doctor.
He must be. Kind of doctor anyway, the things he keeps in that bag.
She been snooping.
It's a fine day, Bannerheim. A fine day. Just like the old days.
Is Charles in for a shock?
Are you sure you're a policeman?
Madam, you only have to look at my feet, the world weariness in my eyes, and the £10 note clutched in your hands.
It doesn't seem right.
Yes, I agree. The hairs on the back of my head tell me the same thing. There's something about this place that isn't right. Excuse me. I have a feeling that this is going to cost me another £10.
Hey?
I'm saying
right.
20.
20.
Thank you.
Good.
You shouldn't have done that.
Another tenner?
Oh, but I should. Definitely. Now stand back.
Get him to trash the place, love you, be rich.
Now look. I bet you didn't know we had a radio behind there, did you?
You've not been keeping up on your cleaning duties, love. That is a heart.
bring them in.
Cigar?
Please sit down, Mrs. Hunter. And you, Mr. Hunter, here, sir, please. Now, I'm afraid you're both still suffering from the effects of sedation, but just sit quietly, and I hope this won't take long. Indeed, it mustn't take long.
Why are you doing this? What
At least he sterilized it.
That is what I mean to find out.
Truth drug? He might not like what he hears.
Mr. Hunter? Mr. Hunter, open your eyes, please. Here's yours.
See, this detective's so good at his job, and he probably just end up walking to where they are. After he's been here.
Mr. Hunter?
Nope.
Mr. Hunter?
Nope.
As soon as you're ready, I'd like a word with you.
Brad? Brad? You don't mind if I call you Brad? That is your name, isn't it?
Yes. Bradley Hunter.
Good. Good. Now, I'm a good friend. You understand that? A good friend.
Really?
Good friend.
Really?
And I want you to tell me about yourself. I want to know all about you.
Yeah, my showers take about 10 minutes. How long have you been waiting? Half an hour? See, they should have really tidied that up. Now, how much water's been wasted?
You're going to pieces.
I was raised in Minnesota.
But you're a big boy now, Brad. What is your connection with the FBI?
FBI.
The CIA, then. You're a member of the CIA, aren't you, Brad?
I was in the Army, drafted in 1949.
He's fighting it.
How do truth drugs work?
No. Brad, you remember calling on me at my apartment in St. Pelia Towers? You remember that, don't you?
St. Pelia Towers, apartment 42.
Now, why did you call there, Brad?
He was looking for...
Theresa?
Yes.
To see my wife, Theresa.
Oh, he's Charles now. But Charles is there. How? How does this work? See, at least with the last episode, you got the hand signal and the marvellous references before the second part ended.
Plumwoods. Is Mr. Edwards still with you? Good. Yes, I'd like a word with him, please. Yes, I'll hold on, thank you.
I am Theresa. I am Theresa.
Theresa,
You have something to tell me?
they sent me.
Who?
We met in Vienna.
Who are you?
I am Charles Merrow. I was born in Oxford, educated at Ferngate College. I have been well taught what to drink, smoke, where to buy my clothes.
How do I know this is true?
The newspaper, the London Times. I am to bring a copy torn in a certain way. This is the first sign. I am to go to an apartment in Manchester Square or to St. Helier Towers, apartment 42. I am to ask for Theresa. If there is danger, I will be turned away. I must then go to a phone and dial Theresa. New instructions will be issued.
What are your orders?
What are your orders?
We are to be married, you and I. It is the best possible cover. Then I will take control of the whole spy cell.
It's impossible. That was my briefing. My exact briefing before I was sent to this country nearly 20 years ago.
Oh, hello. Mr. Edwards.
Yes, sir.
Matthew Webb.
Oh, how are
Yes,
you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Good.
Oh,
Very well.
I'm glad to hear it. Excellent. Mr. Edwards, teeny tiny problem. Charles Meadow.
Mr. Merrow, sir.
Now, is he a customer of yours?
Oh, indeed he is, sir.
Yes, of course he is. Yes, I've heard him mention you many times.
Oh, Plumwoods.
What? No, you personally.
Oh, I see.
Look, the fact is, Mr. Edwards, I'm supposed to be having dinner with him tonight.
Yes.
And it's terribly difficult, you see. I've mislaid his address.
Oh, it's Kensington.
No.
Sir.
No, not his address in town. The other one.
Oh, yeah, his country residence.
Yes,
sir.
out of town. Yes, that one. Look, I know you don't normally divulge info about your customers, but I wondered if you could...
Would his address be of some use
Yes,
to you,
indeed it
sir?
would be.
Yes, I do
What?
see your
Yes,
predicament,
extremely
sir.
embarrassing, yes.
Yes. Well, here we are, sir. It's the Gables Farm stock.
Yes, that's it.
Has it been him who's been mind
Yes,
controlling
fine,
them?
thank you.
We must
Yes,
settle your
yes,
accounts
indeed.
soon,
Yes,
sir.
yes, we must.
It's
Yes,
been
bye.
long-
Is it kind of a would you kindly Bioshock kind of thing?
It's incredible. How could he know the briefing so thoroughly? And why wait so many years to use the information? We have to know, Benheim.
No.
We have to get on with it.
Another shot could kill him. And then you would learn nothing.
We're learning nothing anyhow. I'm ordering you, Benheim.
No. He was in Korea and he knows your face. Does that mean anything? No, please.
Korea.
Cold nose.
Tell me about Korea, Brad.
I was there. Infantry division. Captured.
And you know my face.
Yes.
But how? Where?
Was he an officer?
I'm interested, Brad, dear chap, deeply interested. You were captured. Tell me about that.
I was selected for special treatment. Officer. Decorated. Important. Important they break me. They flew me out of Korea.
Where, Brad? Where did they fly you to?
Long way. To Europe. A special camp. A center. A psychological intelligence center.
Where?
They tried to brainwash me. But I held out. I held out.
What center?
Center. PI Center. 79.
Said to 79, but that's where we were trained.
My name is Charles Merrill. I am a typical English gentleman. I was born in Oxford, but educated at Ferngate
He was
College.
one of his subjects.
I have been well taught what to drink, smoke, where to buy
No
my
danger,
clothes.
Anaheim. No need for panic. It's a mistake.
What do you mean? What possible link can there exist between us and an American brainwashed in Korea?
But he wasn't brainwashed in Korea. You heard him say he was taken on a long journey to Center 79. Don't you see? I was briefed at Center 79. Over and over, they burnt those words into my mind. I am Charles Merrow, a typical English gentleman. And in the next room was a man they thought they couldn't brainwash, but they did. Unconsciously, they did. His poor, addled mind stored my briefing away, stored it for nearly 20 years, until he made a trip to Europe and for the first time, probably, held a copy of the London Times in his hand.
And that's what triggered
We're
it.
in the clear, Anaheim.
And we can let them go.
Unfortunately, no. Theresa and I will go back to town.
Always you leave the dirt to me.
And Sagar. He enjoys it. Come, my dear.
Brad.
It will be quick, I promise.
No, please, for God's sake.
What is it? Why are you standing there like that?
The detective.
He is standing there like that because I have a .38 revolver pointed at his kidneys. And a .38 through the kidneys, if not invariably fatal, can be excruciatingly painful.
I wouldn't like to find out.
Now, I can't promise to hit a kidney at this range. The handgun is notoriously inaccurate. But I can promise to hit some part of your anatomy. Now, you don't know how ridiculous I feel saying this, sir. But if you would please place your handgun upon the table. And the rest of you, with the exception of Mr. and Mrs. Hunter, if you would line up against that wall.
Seems like he's the Gestapo
I
officer.
have a deceptively soft voice. But I did win a military cross for disposing of 23 of the enemy single-handed. A rather inferior enemy, I must confess. But 23 of them just the same. Splendid. Thank you. Now, I'm not a stupid hero. I telephoned the police and the special branch before barging in.
Don't put your gun down.
Doubtless many carloads of them are on their way now.
Something you were delayed in that, but...
Meanwhile, we face one another. But... it's experience that counts, I always say. That, a certain light-footedness, and a degree of optimism.
Oh, I was going to say, is he the guy that did the brainwashing?
Late, as usual.
I still go for the gun and take the chances.
And I try to keep the spirit of Wyatt alive. Mrs. Hunter, I'd ask you to do me a favor.
Whatever, anything.
Please don't mention the gun. It's a war souvenir, and I have no license for it. Or bullets.
Could English people license guns? Oh. Oh. It just ended. Okay. That was like the first episode that just ended when the cops turned up. So yes, I enjoyed the episode, but it sent my head in all sorts of directions. I had no idea what was going on. As you know, I thought it was a possession to begin with. I thought it was rehashing like episode 2. But I was so lost throughout that. And it did tie together in the end. We did find out why he thought it was Charles. But still, we were getting no close, no sign out. Yes, as I was saying, we were getting no clues to lead towards brainwashing. And you might have picked up on some clues like that, I didn't, but then again, it took me until editing to figure out what the twist was in the first episode. I'm not going to say what it was, just in case you haven't seen it, but yeah, it took me that long. It took me about 2 weeks, and it wasn't until I was editing that episode I twigged what it was. So, with that, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching, especially if you ain't made it this far, and especially if it was your first time watching these episodes. I don't mean just this one, you might have watched episode 1, 2 and 3, but if it was your first time, thank you for giving these episodes a chance. These reactions don't get many views, the ones that people haven't seen before. And this was done in the 70s, and I'm guessing people in the 50s or 60s won't like the action channels. If you are of that age, let me know in the comments, please. I would gratefully love to know if people older than me watch reaction channels, and I'm 43. So, my Patreon members, I thank you, each and every one of you so much. It is you that is bringing the content to me to allow me to bring the content back to you. Thank you all, I love you. I hope these shows are doing you justice, and I hope the exclusive shows, if you're tier 2 or above, are doing you justice. Thank you so much, and I hope to see everybody else in the next episode, or the next video, whatever it may be. Thanks again, goodbye.